See, Trisha Gray would tell you if you would be here when the Pirates are playing Miami tomorrow. $5 pitchers courtesy of IC Light. Where are we, ladies and gentlemen? We are at Jimmy K's. This is the calm before the crowd, because tonight the puck will drop at 7:30, the NBC Sports Network. Doc Emmerich with a call. They take on the President Trophy winning Washington Capitals. The 1-2 teams in the Metropolitan Division will square off tonight in the conference semifinals. And yes, this place is going to be jumping. Let me tell you, along with great wings tonight and some top shelf beverages and your favorite beers, they've got multiple beers on tap. You are going to have the opportunity to come back here Monday, and this is what Jimmy K has got in store for you. The first 50 on Monday night to come to watch the Penguins at Jimmy K's in New Brighton, you're getting some free swag, folks. All I can tell you, be one of the first 50 people. Now come on back. Michael Pratte, who is his bar manager, it's that, Freedom Mafia, that Conway connection. He and Jimbo Klein, both Freedom graduates. We're going to tell you about an event that I told you about earlier today for Robert Sally, Bay as he is affectionately known, and Helen, his fiance. Huge benefit coming up here on Sunday, so come on back. Now Robbie, an incredible chef, is actually shooting this on the Samsung phone. Dave Pasquale at Pratte, New Brighton, he's here with me today. We're going to do two videos, one on the Kentucky Derby, May 6th, that of course on the NBC television network, and we're also going to give you one more on the NFL draft, as we're just hours away. Charlie Castleling, who of course, former general manager of the Washington Redskins, one of the best in the business with the NFL Network, one of his last mock drafts from about a day ago. So come on over. And ladies and gentlemen, here he is as promised, Dave Pasquale and Michael Pratte. He is the man in charge, and now it's time to tell you about what they're going to be doing this coming Sunday. Michael, fill in.
All right, so this coming Sunday, we are having a benefit for a longtime customer and friend, Robert Sally, and his wife, fiance Helen. Unfortunately, Robert has come down, who they call Bay, so I'll refer to him as Bay. That's how everyone knows him. He has been diagnosed with stomach cancer, unfortunately in stage 4. And he is a really great guy. Everyone who knows him and Helen will tell you the same thing. He's been a longtime friend of Jimmy and Abby and everyone here at Jimmy K's. And so what we want to do is, or what Jimmy wanted to do, what we want to do here is anything we can to help. So we're holding this benefit. We're going to have a dunk tank. We're going to have free food, donations. We're going to have a Chinese auction. We do have these shirts. We got these shirts made. We're just asking for a donation of $4 or $5 minimum, or anything you want to give on top of that. You get a shirt. We are asking for $10 at the door, and that's everything we take in for that day. We're going to give to Helen and Bay. So all the money we bring up from 12 to 6, we're going to match. Jimmy's going to match, and that's all going to Bay and Helen. So like I said, great people. Come on down if you can make it, and just give to some great people and a great cause.
All right, Michael, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, Dave and I are going to go to work now and talk a little Kentucky Derby. And yes, there is the first donation of the day. That's my man, Dave Pasquale. That's what you call New Brighton hospitality. Now I want to talk about the Derby, and I've got a long list of horses here, but I'm just going to let you do what you do best. Some of these horses that you and I have been going over, and it is early, and by the way, next Wednesday, we will be at the beautiful Wooden Angel, and then on Thursday, Alex Jr., as in Sebastian Sr., the Wooden Angel, his son, now the proprietor of Thursday. So a 1-2 night as far as the preview of the Run for the Roses, which is on NBC. That'll be a week from Saturday. So we're getting at it early because, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first leg of horse racing's Triple Crown, and believe me, it's some of the best 2 minutes in sports you'll find anywhere. Go ahead, Dave.
Robbie, it's very early yet, even though it's only just a little over a week away. But the field hasn't been completely set yet, although there are about 4 or 5 also eligibles that could sneak in if there are some late scratches. Right now, it looks as though a horse called Classic Empire is going to be the opening favorite. I think I mentioned that to you a couple of weeks ago that I thought Classic Empire would be, and I think today that he's still going to be. That'll be followed up by Always Dreaming. That's a Todd Pletcher horse. Pletcher has about 3 or 4 horses scheduled to run, and I think they all will run. But Always Dreaming will be probably second favorite, followed by Irish War Cry. A horse called Guanabara, ridden by Javier Castellano, who's one of the premier jockeys in the country. Followed by IRAP, horse called Tepret, and another Todd Pletcher horse. Gormley is ridden by Victor Espinoza. His trainer is John Sheriffs, an old guy that's been around for a long time, does a good job. Thunder Snow is a question mark. He comes out of England. They haven't been, they're not completely sold on bringing him over here for the Derby because they've got a big race in England that they may opt to put Thunder Snow in. That decision hasn't been made as yet. Malagasy comes next. Again, another Todd Pletcher horse. No jockey assigned to him as yet. And followed by Gervin, winner of the LA Derby and the Risen Star. Won both of those races. Still comes in though at an 18-1 long shot at this point in time. That could change, but right now he's 18-1. J Boy's Echo Conquest Bow Money just finished second in the Arkansas Derby. Wasn't nominated for the Triple Crown. As a result, for him to get into the Derby now would cost his owners or his connections $200,000 in supplemental fees to get him entered into the race. After Conquest Bow Money, you have Untrapped, Fast and Accurate, and a horse called Patch. Sentimental favorite of mine. The horse got one eye, runs like a champion, and as I said, he does it all with one eye. Another Todd Pletcher horse. Italian Runner, another Todd Pletcher horse, goes in the race. Battle of Midway, ridden by a jockey named Flavian Pratte, by the way. So he's got to be one of your favorites.
Now listen, we're going to talk strategy as far as this Kentucky Derby, and it really is something that these jockeys have to prepare for because there is nothing like the Derby. Even though you move on to the Belmont and Preakness, the Derby sets the stage, and how you get out of the gate can really determine the rest of that 2-month time frame that you really want to find yourself, well, racing for the history books. So talk about strategy in the Kentucky Derby.
Well, if you draw some bad luck, and draw the inside post, both the 1 and the 2 post, you're almost starting, the way that gate is set up at Churchill Downs, you're almost starting behind the rail. And so the first thing you've got to do, if you are in the 1 or 2 post, is you've got to move to the right. The horse has to move to the right to get against the rail, not on it. So the inside posts 1 and 2 are at a disadvantage, and of course the outside posts, if you're at 18, anywhere from 15 on out, it's a bit of a disadvantage, especially if you are a speed horse, that is a horse that likes to front run. If that's the case, that horse has to get out and work very, very hard because obviously he doesn't want to run wide around the whole track. And the first thing he's got to do is break out of the gate, get to the rail, and then run his race.
You and I, along with Ted Arnaud, are firm believers that it's time for the sports betting business to really go national. So far it hasn't. The people in Las Vegas will be betting. They will in London on this race, and that's what makes it fascinating. When you're placing a wager on a thoroughbred horse racing of significance, such as the Kentucky Derby, what are some of the things you look for? You have to be looking, number one, not just at the horse, but the jockey.
What you do, and there are, in the case of the Kentucky Derby, there are very few horses that you would eliminate because of the jockey. It's basically, the horse's, your ability to bet or your options to bet really come from what the horse has done past performance-wise. How does he run? Is he a front runner? Is he a stalker, which means doesn't like to go to the front but likes to stay near it? Pace presser, likes to press the pace, or is he a closer or deep closer? You have to really understand and know what these horses, what their style, what their running styles are, and what they've done in the past, whether or not. And also, of course, you have to look at the times and be familiar with what good times are, what bad times are, track conditions, who likes mud, who doesn't.
But because this is such a short race, no pun intended, it's got to be hard to catch up. I mean, you really cannot let too much distance get between you and the front runner in this race because you don't have a lot of time to catch up.
You can quite the contrary. Stalkers and closers like to let speed horses and front runners get out and spend themselves, and they can run 20-25 lengths behind the front runners
And still have
in a mile and a quarter. Absolutely. Deep closers can clip off a lot of ground in a short amount of time. I think that's probably what you're going to see in the Kentucky Derby this year. I think there is a lot of pace in this race, which means there are going to be a lot of horses up front trying to grab that early lead. And I don't think it's very difficult to go a mile and a quarter up front, especially if you've got 4 or 5 horses or 6 horses that are dogging you on the outside and on the inside, or the inside. And so, that of course, those horses that are out front and being pressured by those horses that they call pressers are at a disadvantage at some point in the race if they don't have the stamina to go around the quarter. Don't forget, none of these horses have ever run around the quarter.
We're coming back in just a couple of moments. Dave knows football too. The NFL draft, as if you can't get enough of one of the greatest spectacles in sports. Tonight, live right out front of the steps where Rocky Balboa and that statue stood. He will be there tonight. Apollo Creed, part of the NFL Network's broadcast crew. They're going to have it, as is ESPN. Charlie Casserly, he of course former GM of the Redskins, now commentator with the NFL Network. We're going to go through his entire first round, 1 through 32, next from Jimmy K's in New Brighton.